Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV Preview Show. We are previewing Tuesday the 6th of May. It's our first local race meeting for a new week. And what's on offer at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth? Well, there are 9 races on the go. We'll begin at 12:25, and the big one, the pick 6 at 14:10. Graham Hawkins is in studio. And Graham, firstly, before we touch on the card, let's just recap on the weekend. Fantastic start to the KZN Champion season.
Wonderful start, great racing, and even on Sunday at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, there were 3 superb feature races. Gavin Lorena, clean sweep. He didn't strike the board. It was a bit of a frustrating day for him here at Hollywoodbets Greyville on the Saturday, but he certainly made amends for that on the Sunday. And before we get into the card, chatting about Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, as we saw on Sunday, the track was running fast. It has certainly firmed up a lot. And the forecast for this meeting on Tuesday, the 6th of May, is clear skies, no chance of rain. So our punters can expect another very firm and fast track. Okay,
let's get straight into it, Graham. I mentioned 9 races on the go, so race number 1 will not form part of the exotics. That will all begin in the 2nd. It's a maiden juvenile plate over 1,000 meters. We bring up the field, have a look at some betting. Number 2, 3 Tigers. 5-2, now 15-10. Horse number 3, Churchillian, is at 17-10. And number 5, which is Gold Kaboski, that's at 5-2. It's double figures, the balance. Okay, number 2, 3 Tigers for Michelle Ricks and Harold Crawford. Well done to them over the weekend, and her stable's in excellent form. This individual, Graham, I know that first time out they were expecting a decent run, but I must add that it was a pleasant surprise to see how well he finished off that day, considering how green he was in the early part of the race. So they are expecting more from this individual. I'm told that he's come on and they give him a strong each-way chance. So there is some confidence coming through from the yard with number 2, 3 Tigers. Churchillian is an interesting horse, and so is number 5, Gold Kaboski. Do we follow the money in race number 1? As I mentioned, not supremely confident, but they do give the horse a strong winning chance.
Well, he clearly has to improve off the back of that debut. I worry about the strength of that field when he ran first time out. I prefer Churchillian. He's got form to Dream World. In his second start, he was only beaten a length and a half by Dream World. And then on the 16th of March, when he ran 7th behind Military Command, on that occasion, Dream World was runner-up. And he was about 4 lengths behind Dream World. So with Dream World having come out and won the nursery in spectacular fashion over the weekend, I do think that perhaps Churchillian brings the strongest form into the race. Bearing in mind, Dees, that he's had 3 starts. They've all been against winners. 2 of them were in feature races. So he runs in a maiden for the first time in his career. But clearly there's a lot of scope for improvement for number 2, 3 Tigers, as well as number 5, Gold Kaboski. That ran well on debut behind All the Rage, and All the Rage ran a very good 3rd in the winter nursery over the weekend. So that form line could also be very strong. It does look an absolute 3-cornered contest. We saw earlier last week when we were previewing the race meeting for Sunday, She's My World drifted in the anti-post market as the money came for the other one. Yes. But the race time money was all for She's My World, and she won handsomely. So again, I'd like to see the fluctuations in the betting here as we get closer to race time, because I know the early money's been for number 2, 3 Tigers, but I'm going to be in the camp of number 3 Churchillian. He's a full brother to Master Archie. Hopefully the track is not running too quick for him, but that same comment will apply to 3 Tigers and Gold Kaboski. Gold Kaboski is certainly bred to go a little bit further. So yes, I'm in the camp of number 3 Churchillian, not confidently, but it looks an absolute 3-cornered contest.
Okay, the winner is going to come from numbers 2, 3 and 5, and you can play some exactas and maybe even the trifecta there if there's no market support for the other individuals. Those 3 horses dominate the betting at the time of recording. Bipod race number 2, 1,300 hours. It's an open maiden over 1,400 meters. There is some money here for horse number 2, Thunder Down Under. Hollywoodbets 6-1 into 4-1. Bevan Pikers has settled in nicely down in the Western Cape, and he claims the 2.5 kgs. Then number 5, which is Drickus at 11-2. I'm going to start number 4 there, Graham. That's the Night Ferry. That's trading at 6-1. 28-10 about this individual called Senor Diante for Brett and James Crawford. 5-2, number 9, Ocean Sky. Number 10, Father Christmas, is at 8-1. and it's 10 to 1 and better the balance. What did you make of Brett and James Crawford's son of Rafif's debut run, Graham, considering that he had a lot of ground to make up at the 400-meter mark, but he was finishing off that race well?
He did finish off the race well. Clearly the step up to 1,400 meters is going to be in his favor. Senor Dante and Ocean Sky, they both raced behind Green Planet. In fact, they dead heated for 6th position. So there's nothing to choose between the pair. Ocean Sky's debut effort behind Dawn's Early Light when he ran 2nd was in a very, very limited work riders maiden plate. So if you're going to go with numbers 8 Senor Dante and 9 Ocean Sky, then you're putting a lot of faith into that Green Planet form line. Clearly both have scope to improve, but I think this is quite a tricky start to the bipod. I'm quite interested in number 2 Thunder Down Under. You say there's been a bit of support. Brevin Blakey's broke the duck, his Western Cape duck over the weekend. What interests me, Dees, is that this horse ran 3rd, sudden improvement, and that may be a little bit of a concern in itself because we've had no runners to come out of that form line. Sudden improvement went 3rd behind Dive Bomber, and that was in a standard maiden plate. Now, normally when you run a place in a maiden plate, you would see an increase in your merit rating. He went into that race off a 55, and despite running 3rd in a regular maiden plate, not an open maiden plate, his merit rating remained unchanged on 55. So he carries 52 here. Then you take off the 2.5 for Brevin Blakey. He's got 49.5 on his back from a handy draw in an open maiden. So I do think that number 2, Thunder Down Under, if he can confirm that improvement last time, it could be slung into this race because we really don't know how good the opposition is. The Night Ferry also showed sudden improvement last time out to run 2nd behind Devil a Saint. That was over the course and distance. That was in an open maiden. Drickus disappointed badly last time out. This will be his 3rd run after being rested and gelded. But if you judge him on his previous run, when 2nd over 1,400 meters, maybe he just didn't cope with the 1,700 meters last time out. Back over 1,400 meters, he's got to be a runner. So the winner could emerge from any of numbers 2, Thunder Down Under, 4, The Night Ferry, 5, Drickus, 8, Senor Dante, 9, Ocean Sky, and there could even be further improvement to come from number 10, Father Christmas, who can't be ruled out. So I think it's quite a trappy start to the bipod, and the key horse could well be number 2, Thunder Down Under.
Okay, number 2, Thunder Down Under, who dropped in distance last time out to 1,000 meters and improved, but as Graham mentioned, no penalty for that. Yeah, maybe it is time that 1,400 meters, that he's got his confidence back with a nice low weight from a good draw of 2, that it won't be an issue, because he seems to be a horse that's taken a bit of time to get the hang of things, and he did so last time out. That could be the value. Money 6 to 1 into 4 to 1. So 8, 9, and possibly 2 for the bipod there for Graham Hawkins. Place accumulator is in race number 3, 13:35. It's 1,400 meters, a maiden plate for fillies and mares, and this is how it looks. Number 1, Wild Applause, is at 3 to 1. 2, Sweet Conifer, is at 5 to 1. We then have number 3, Louis Star, at 6 to 1. 5, Future Prospect, at 9 to 2. 9, Ocatello, is at 3 to 1. And 10, Supreme Fate, is at 5 to 1. We did the show last time out, Graham. You were on English Mistress, who finally got it all together. I like Sweet Conifer that day. This horse, Sweet Conifer, don't know what's happening, but she is proving a bit disappointing for me when I've gone for her. In this race, Graham, when I look at the place accumulator, I think number 1, Wild Applause, should be a good thing for the top 3.
Wow, you're a lot more confident than I am. I think Wild Applause is very limited. She does have pole position. She ran a nice race behind Angel's Oasis last time out. Angel's Oasis was placed first time out the maiden, so that form line is not too bad. And certainly she's done enough in the past to suggest in a race like this she should be a top 3 inclusion. You mentioned Sweet Conifer. I think the key here could be stepping back to 1,400 meters. In a late declaration, the tongue tie goes on, so that could be significant, and Sweet Conifer jumps again from a nice draw. Others worth a mention are 3, Louis Star, moderate form but can improve in what I think is an open race. Future Prospect is interesting. He's only had the 1 start, ran on quite readily behind Gimme a Thrill, so that's the same form line as number 2, 3 Tigers brings into the opening race. So if 3 Tigers runs really well, then Future Prospect stepping up, as the pedigree would suggest, would be in her favor, stepping up from 1,000 meters to 1,400 meters 5 Future Prospect could be a serious runner here. Ocatello, well, I don't quite know what to make of her. We've come with our book of excuses, but last time out things went completely pear-shaped for number 9, Ocatello. Wide, pulling, never in the race. Wasn't Craig Zacky's finest hour, I don't believe. But he reunites with Ocatello, and with a bit more luck in running, perhaps she could be a factor. But I've left the best till last. Worst of the draw, but I think the key horse in the race, Dees, is number 10, Supreme Fate. When you look at the form lines, 2 direct winners out of her debut behind Berry's Boogie. Then she ran a good third over 1,400 metres behind Tap Shoes. There's been a direct winner out of that. And then, although she was beaten into sixth place, she was only beaten 2 lengths by Give Me Everything. Last time out, 4 direct winners from that form line. Give Me Everything went on to win 4 on the bounce. She ran a creditable 4th from a hopeless draw in the World Sports Betting Fillies Guineas. So I believe that number 10, Supreme Fate, brings the best form in the race. Obviously an awkward draw jumping out of gate 10. So number 10, Supreme Fate, would be my top choice ahead of number 2, Sweet Conifer. But all of numbers 9, Ocatello, 5, Future Prospect, and and number 1, Wild Applause, have obvious claims. It's not a strong race. It's not going to take a lot of winning. But I do expect Supreme Fate. She comes off a slight rest. She hasn't run since the 15th of January. She's been given time to develop since then. I think she's got the brightest future of all of these.
Okay, I was quite confident with number 1, Wild Applause, as a top 3 selection, but Graham is erring on the side of caution here. He's giving you a 5-1 shot, who arguably brings the best form lines into the race. That's number 10, Supreme Fate. Also number 2, Sweet Conifer. Those could be the backup 2 and 10 with number 1, but he's also given a mention to 9 and 5 there. So a tricky race, a nice quartet trifecta to catch there. But Wild Applause, Muzi, and he got a good feel last time out. He's got a tremendous strike rate. Wow, Muzi, since he's been riding for Justin Snate, he's just churning winner after winner for that stable. Race number 4 kicks off the big one, the pick 6 at 14:10, 1,600 meters. Number 1 is Water Dragon from pole position, considering where the horse jumped from last time out, which was 13 out of 13. One could say that's a massive draw swing around Gavin Arena and Vaughan Marshall. Number 2, Unicorn Alert, that's trading at 4-1. See, the blinkers are on there, Graham. There is money for number 3, Red Dawn, Hollywoodbets 7-1 into 4-1, so take note of that if you're following the anti-post market. Number 6, Land of the Rising Sun, finally put it all together last time out. He's a horse that's rated by the stable. He took a bit of time to win that maiden, but he got it right last time out. 64 kgs, 9-2. And then number 8, 2 a penny, is trading at 33-10. And this individual, the filly, she's been off since December. Does the draw swing around for Water Dragon sway you in this horse's corner this time round, Graham?
Big chance, number 1, Water Dragon, jumping out of pole position. It's another very, very open race. C Stakes, 1,600 meters. That's the theme of the day, Dees. 8 very competitive races. And the one that we're hoping we can nail our colours to the mast is Let It Be Said a little later on, but we'll get to that because it's also there, not a one-horse race, but Let It Be Said does look as if it's the key horse on this card. That's in the 8th race. We'll get there just now. Water Dragon, 2 good last runs. The distance suits. Last time drawn out at 13, this time drawn in pole position. I like the fact that blinkers have gone on number 2, Unicorn Alert. He's worn them once before. That was back in November when he raced over 1,400 meters, the only time he's been equipped with blinkers, and he ran a very creditable 5th behind Aristotle, running on strongly at the line. So I think the blinkers are going to help the largely disappointing number 2, Unicorn Alert. I would have thought he would have won his 2nd race by now. I've been following him. I'm not giving up on him, but he is starting to frustrate me. But the blinkers could be the master stroke. Red Dawn also jumps out of a neat draw. It's won 2 of its last 3 starts, including a narrow victory over 10 Penny, and 10 Penny, over 10 Penny, who runs later on in this card. Land of the Rising Sun was very impressive, but you know, it took a long time to win his maiden. As you say, he's got 64 on his back. 2 a penny. Very game, very consistent, also a big mass. So I think it's a very trappy race, but if you forced me into a corner, I would be in the camp of number 1, Water Dragon, because of the draw strike and the fact that Gavin Larena was rampant at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth over the weekend, and he has a very, very nice strike rate for trainer Vaughan Marshall, and that stable is going along very nicely. But I am expecting a lot more improvement over time from number 6, Land of the Rising Sun. So it wouldn't entirely surprise me if he went back to back, and To a Penny will be there or thereabouts.
Okay. Number 1, Water Dragon, we'll call that the roving banker. No degree of confidence, but from pole position could be the right horse, especially for the bet like the place accumulator. But for the pick 6, again, you need horses here if you're not in the camp of number 1, Water Dragon, or any of your other fancies. The most interesting runner has to be number 6, Land of the Rising Sun, 64 kgs post-maiden effort. Let's see how he goes. Race number 5 is a Class C over 1600 meters. Number 1 is Pinot Grigio at 22 to 10, 52.5 kgs Graham from pole position. The post-maiden form will keep you very encouraged, and anything from 1400 to 2000 meters does suit this individual well. 2, Future Turn, Richard Fourie up for Justin Snate at 4 to 1. Then we got number 5, Gold Dust, who's attracted anti-post betting support, so take note of this, racing fans. Out the maidens first up, 7 to 1 into 11 to 2. Number 7 is 10 Penny, that's trading at 6 to 1, and 9 Major Master is at 3 to 1. Graham, there's a horse here that I wouldn't be leaving out of the pick 6, and that's number 6, Pardon Nom, who's trading at around 12 to 1. I'm going to take a stance and say that last start needed it desperately. He's a horse that's always shown ability, and Dean Caname and Craig Zaki, in a few of the interviews, they've always said he's an honest, hard-knocking individual. So it's a tough race, Graham, if I'm tipping a 12 to 1 shot here as an each-way play. But with the 9 runners that go to post, you can throw a blanket over them.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to throw number 6, Pardon Nom, then into the first leg of the jackpot. That's my bet of choice for today, and I hadn't included it. But I always respect what you say when it comes to the outsiders. Ricky Tiki Tavi did us proud over the weekend, beating the odds-on favourite Claire de Lune. Even if we weren't that confident on the nose, you picked out Ricky Tiki Tavi, and she delivered the goods. Gold Dust really interests me. I'm not surprised there's been anti-post support for number 5, Gold Dust, from 7 to 1. I thought that was overly generous in the anti-post market. Only had the 3 starts, has improved with each and every outing, made all last time out to beat Konnichiwa by 2 lengths. Now, I know it's a huge step up. He steps out the maidens. But if you look at him, Dees, he is the most impressive quality son of Rafif. And he's got a lovely pedigree. He's out of a mare by Dynasty. He steps up again to 1600 meters. He ran 4th over this trip in his penultimate start behind 006. That's come out to win again. I really think that Gold Dust has plenty of upside, and he's my leading fancy in this race, number 5, Gold Dust. But you've mentioned number 6, Pardon Nom, which I didn't factor into my play, but I'm happy to include. Major Master, again, despite the worst of the draw, it's not a huge field. Will improve off the back of that last run over 1200 meters. He contested the Politician Stakes Grade 3 2 runs back. I think this is ideal for him, the 1600 meters. Andrew Fortune rides for the Candice Bass Robinson stable. So Major Master, definitely one for the shortlist. Pinot Grigio, can't fault his form. He's drawn in pole position. He's only got 52.5 on his back, and he'll go well here. Future Turn has also been a little costly to follow. It's been 682 days since his last win. But Richard Fourie rides. He is coming down the rating slowly. He is a 4-time winner, and you ignore him at your peril. 10 Penny, we'll have to see how he goes. He won his maiden 2 runs back. Probably not disgraced in hindsight behind Okavango when we think about what Okavango's gone on to do. So 10 Penny worth a second glance. And Diamond Rock, you've picked out Pardon Nom as the roughie. I picked out number 3, Diamond Rock, as a potential roughie, thrown that into the mix as far as the first leg of the jackpot is concerned. But I think there's a lot of value to be had about number 5, Gold Dust. When you see him in the flesh, you'll be blown away.
Okay, Graham going with number 5, Gold Dust, the lightly raced 3-year-old, just a maiden winner at his last start. But Graham feels on looks, on pedigree, And what he's seen to date, he's a horse that's very capable of going back to back out. The maiden's number 5, Gold Dust. But it does look like a race where if you don't like something, you are inclined to include as many horses as possible. And the rule could come into play. If it's not 4 runners here in a field of 9, it could be a field race. Race number 6, D Stakes, 1600 meters. Number 1, Beer with the Boys at 28 to 10. And it's the first time that Richard Fourie will partner this horse. Number 2, Midway at 3 to 1. Then we got money here, Graham, for number 4, Cosmic Rhythm. Opened up 10 to 1. That is shortened into 7 to 1. We have a situation. Paddy Crayer's runner with Andrew Fortune up. A good win from Andrew when he picked up the ride last time out on this individual at 3 to 1. And the horse is now going for 3 in a row. 9, Golden Angel, is at 28 to 10. That will be Craig Zaki and Glenn Cotson. Are we going for a form line here, Graham? We have a situation because there's lots of horses. I'll actually read them out for the racing fans. If you are going to follow a form line, we have a situation: Beat Beer with the Boys, Midway, Cosmic Rhythm, All About Ronnie, Count William, and Gold Index last time out. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7 runners are coming out of a form line from the 9 that go to post here. And often when you see a form line, Graham, in these handicaps, they don't often hold up. It's a reversal of form majority of the time.
There's always the potential here for a reversal of form because, as you said, it's a low-grade race. The average merit rating is 65. But I'm going to trust that form line. Beer with the Boys is now better drawn. He's weight turnaround with number 8. We have a situation, should see Beer with the Boys being very competitive and turning the tables on We Have a Situation. If you take that logic, then Beer with the Boys will have the measure of numbers 2, Midway, 4, Cosmic Rhythm, etc., and all those others that you've mentioned. Cosmic Rhythm, on that occasion, jumped out of Stallgate 16 and was 12 lengths back halfway through the race and finished just 2 lengths behind We Have a Situation. So out of that form line, if you're going to hedge Beer with the Boys and try and limit the size of your selections, then I would put Cosmic Rhythm as the principal threat to Beer with the Boys. Having said that, I've gone pretty wide in this leg in the jackpot. The one horse that doesn't come out of that form line that could be a factor is number 9, Golden Angel. She's run 4th in her last 3 starts. She's struggling to record her 2nd career victory, but she comes out of a different form line. And, when you look at My Only Weakness and Klein Z, who came out to win again, then those are not too bad. They're not strong, but they're not too bad, and she could be a factor here. But I'm in the camp of number 1, Beer with the Boys, to come out on top. He's got pole position. He's got 64 to shoulder. But at the revised weight, should have the measure of number 8, We Have a Situation. That being said, We Have a Situation has a clear chance of completing the hat-trick. Cosmic Rhythm, and I'm not surprised the long shot, the long odds were claimed, because definitely was also priced up wrongly, now into single figures. So Cosmic Rhythm, definitely a chance. I've included all of numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, and 9 into the second leg of my jackpot. I've ignored the balance. But Beer with the Boys would be my top choice. But how confident can you be?
Okay, 9 runners go to post, Graham. Maybe numbers 1 and 4. Just reading in between the lines on his thought process here, could be the horses for your place accumulator, and you could be safe with numbers 1 and 4, just trying to minimize the spend there in race number 6. Race number 7 is a class 5. It's over 1,400 meters, and it doesn't get easier when it comes to the competitiveness of this card. As Graham mentioned, the theme throughout the afternoon seems to be low division handicaps. You'll get results, and that is the card you'd want to play, especially if you're an exotic player. Race number 7, number 1, Dream Searcher, is at 9 to 2. Then, Graham, we're going to go to number 7, which is St. Bridget at 7 to 2. And I find it very interesting that the maiden, number 10, Beach Queen, is priced up at 15 to 10, Graham, carrying 59 kgs against winners here. I don't know your thought process on how you analyzed it and what you've seen in the race, but there are some horses here that are very capable on their day and have won their fair share of races. Some of them may have more to come And we got a maiden with 59 kgs, 15 to 10.
You know, Dees, the more I look at this race, when I submitted my jackpot permits, you know we have to do in advance so they can capture it on the slide and prepare for the show. I included 5 runners in this leg of the jackpot. My structure was 6 horses in the first leg, 5 horses in the second leg, 5 horses in the third leg, and then banker number 5, let it be said. We'll get to that in a moment. The more I look at this race, though, and you know, we were talking about a form line in the previous race. Here's a form line. I mean, Beach Queen, Black Path, Hangout the Stars, Veronique, Flyteria, Miss New York. They all ran on the 16th of April. So 6 of them ran in that race, over 1,400 meters. And Beach Queen emerged clearly ahead of the balance. Closest to her was Black Path, who was 3 lengths away. The more I look at this race, despite the wide draw, despite the fact that she's a maiden, the penny has clearly dropped in her last 2 starts. Third behind Fire Alarm over 1,400 meters. Last time out, we labeled Lady Lookalike. And she made me very nervous, this filly Beach Queen, because she came from one of the widest draws of all and was mowing down Lady Lookalike. And the post came just in time for Lady Lookalike, so we were able to land our bets. But in another few strides, Beach Queen would have been a maiden no more. Now she's out of Beach Queen. They all can run. I know she's not going to scale the heights that some of the others have, including, of course, Beach Bomb, who's now campaigning and was second again in another group race in the United States of America over the weekend. She's not going to scale those heights. But a race like this, with the penny having dropped, despite the fact that she's drawn 10, I think Richard is probably going to give her a bit of a chance. She's surely got to confirm the form with all of Black Path, Hangout the Stars, Veronique, Flyteria, Miss New York. The one that could beat her is number 1, Dream Searcher. Pole position, goes well for Craig Bantam. He's ridden her to 3 victories. All 3 of her career victories, she's been partnered by Craig Bantam. She cracks the inside gate. She wasn't disgraced behind arbitration. Prior to that, she won back-to-back races. Since then, Askiro has come out to win again. So Dream Searcher must be the principal threat to Beach Queen, who looks to have the rest of them all held. And again, one that didn't run in that form line on the 16th of April that might have an upset chance is number 8, Nile the Boss. But the more I look at this race, the more I'm in the camp of number 10, Beach Queen, with perhaps number 1, Dream Searcher, realistically the only danger. I might have overthought the third leg of the jackpot when I submitted it, but I'm declaring that now.
Well, all I can say is that you made a good case of it, because I was neither here nor there in this race. I was actually looking at possibly including the field. I did look up that form line behind Lady Lookalike and all of them on top of each other, but I think you've made a strong case here, Graham, for the racing fans and myself. I'm going to include number 10, Beach Queen now. This is my play. Banker in the PA, and for the jackpot and the pick 6, going to be with you, Graham, just the one backup, number 1, Dream Searcher. So Graham Hawkins has given us his thoughts there, and I think he's made sense of it all in race number 7. Let's move along to race number 8. It's an A stakes over 1,400 meters. Number 1, Gallop Dream, is at 3 to 1. 2, Seeking the Stars, is at 6 to 1. We got number 3, Silver Falcon, at 8 to 1. There is some money for number 4, Sugar Mountain, who was backed from 16 to 1 into 12 to 1 anti-post at the time of recording. And also for number 5, Let It Be Said, 8 to 10 into 6 to 10 Hollywoodbets. So that's shortened deeper into the red now. Graham, you have been chatting about what's to come later on the show, and that your entire day will be around one horse when it comes to exotics. And here we are. It's going to be 16:35. Hopefully things go to plan and they jump on time. And it comes up here in the 8th race, number 5, Let It Be Said. So we hand the floor to you.
Yeah, well, look, he has the right profile. You know, he's just so genuine. I think he's still improving. He ran second behind Garrix in the Variety Club Mile. He's a confident first choice, but I do harbour a lot of respect for number 1, Gallop Dream, and I'll come back to that in a moment. Let It Be Said ran second in the Variety Club Mile. Gallop Dream was third. That was over 1,600 metres. They stepped back to 1,400 metres, which is my slight concern, because they're going into Gallop Dream territory. Gallop Dream has raced 6 times over 1,400 metres for 3 wins and 3 thirds. So that's his ideal trip. And Gallop Dream is 1 kilogram better off for a length and a quarter between the pair behind Garrix in the Variety Club Mile. But all of that being said, this is a tough card with competitive racing, And somewhere you've got to narrow it all down and nail the colours to the mast. And let it be said, you can't fault his form. He's only got 54 to shoulder. It is a step up. He's in an A stakes race, which is a decent race, and there's some hard knockers around with decent form. But I think that the 3-year-old, he's a 3-year-old. Gallic Dream is the 4-year-old. I think the 3-year-old has got more scope for improvement. I would have preferred this to be over a mile, but I'm not going to duck for excuses. I'm not going to be swayed. I'm going with number 5, Let It Be Said, in a very strong way. But I do harbour a measure of respect for one Gallic Dream. So if any of you out there said, well, I'm not as convinced and he's a little skinny in the market and the way to get a dividend is to get these odds on favourite rolled, then Gallic Dream would be the natural backup. Seeking the Stars, he's unbeaten over track and trip. He's had the 2 starts with the 2 wins. He is now a 7-year-old rising 8. He's done 61.5 on his back. So what you see is what you get, but he's talented on his days. Silver Falcon, he hasn't won for 630 days. His last run was encouraging. He's a decent sort. He's an 8-time winner. So, and then you mentioned a bit of money for Sugar Mountain. He's won 4 from 6 over the trip. San Pedro's got a low weight, not too consistent, but likes to go out there and make the running, and he could blow them all away. But we can look for all the ghosts in the world. I'm going strongly with number 5, Let It Be Said, but I do respect the fact that number 1, Gallic Dream, is an active threat.
Let It Be Said, if he just has to repeat his recent form lines behind the likes of Otanigwa, that was the winner of the In Full Flight. Sail the Seas, we know what he's come out to do. The Great King didn't run too badly over the weekend. Fatal Gem ran over the weekend, and of course Garrick's a winner over the weekend.
Well, when you look at that, you remind me of it. I actually meant to make mention of that. Second to Otanigwa,
In Full Flight.
Second to Sail the Seas,
winner
the Guineas winner. Then he wins 2 on the trot. Second to Garrick's, who came out, albeit narrowly, to win the Legal Stakes. So when he's run second in his last 5 starts, 3 seconds and 2 wins, the seconds have all been behind subsequent feature race winners.
100%. Number 5, Let It Be Said, ticks all the boxes, and this could be it, the banker of the day. But if you're looking for one more, Graham has given you number 1, Gallic Dream. Now let's see how we end things off now in race number 9. It's over 1,200 meters. It's a class 4. This is the betting, Graham. Number 2, Trippy Silk, is at 8-1. Then we go all the way to number 10, Escarpment, at 7-1. And the higher numbers seems to be where the action is with the betting. 12, Crowned Hornbill, 7-2. Number 13, Jet Force, Hollywoodbets, 5-1 into 7-2. And number 15, King's Quest, is at 9-2. So this horse, Jet Force, for Des McLaughlin, and I continue to sing his praises because his good form just continues. 5-1 into 7-2, Graham. And over the weekend, well, Richard was on the right horse and it won well. But this horse, Jet Force, the way he's been racing, Graham, I don't know if it's just the style of the horse is inexperienced or whatever reason, he never seems to get away on terms and up with the early pace and speed, which has been costly for him in that post-maiden run, but he did manage to win on debut. He looks like a very exciting horse, Graham.
Very nice horse with a bright future. As you've mentioned, the fancied runners here all drawn towards the stand side of the track, but there didn't seem to be too much of a bias. Yes, they went to the inside, but you had every chance of getting to the middle inside. And Jet Force is unlikely to be up there. He's going to need a bit of luck in running. If he runs with the same style as he has in his first 2 starts coming from well back, you need those gaps to open. But he's a progressive young horse. I think he's an exciting horse, and he's certainly my top choice, number 13, Jet Force, in what is, again, a very competitive Class 4, 1,200 metres. You can hardly fault Crowned Hornbill's form. He beat the US of A. We were very confident that the US of A would deliver for us on Sunday, and he did just that in no certain terms. I'm quite interested in number 15, King's Quest, who's drawn right towards the stand side. The blinkers on King's Quest is an added declaration, so there's a late declaration. He steps back in trip, and I've always believed that 1,600 metres is too far for King's Quest. He's possibly ideally suited to 1,400 metres. He reverts here to 1,200 metres, but he gets the blinkers. That's an important declaration. And I think they regard the son of Kirari quite highly, so you can't ignore King's Quest. Jet Force, with a bit of luck in running, should do the business here. Circumbendibus, an escarpment for trifectas, quartets, and then of course drawn on the far side of the track is number 2, Trippy Silk. His form is decent, so he also has to go into the play for trifectas, quartets. Trippy Silk is 8-1, Circumbendibus is 12-1. Wasn't too far behind Jet Force last time, but Jet Force went past him very quickly over the final 100 meters. So luck in running is going to be needed for number 13, Jet Force. The start markers are 12 Crowned Hornbill and 15 King's Quest. So those would be the short list. If you're looking for a short list of 3, I think the winner is likely to emerge from that trio. 2 Trippy Silk, 5 Circumbendibus, and 10 Escarpment. If one of those happened to win, I wouldn't be totally shocked. It is a typically competitive 1,200 meters. And like you said, let's just hope that Jet Force can get into the race a little earlier.
Yeah, if he does that, I think he'll have less ground to make up. He just leaves Everest to climb each time he comes to the track, but he does mow them down smartly, number 13, Jet Force, and we'll see how he's ridden on Tuesday. That is it, Graham. We've done our race-by-race preview. You've mentioned throughout the show that your bet of choice is going to be the jackpot.
Jackpot 1, race 5, first leg, 14.45. I'm gone with quite a large number of runners in the opening leg. This is a class 3, 1,600 meters. Numbers 1, Pinot Grigio, 2, Future Turn. The roughie in the race 3, Diamond Rock. Then numbers 5, Gold Dust, 7, 10 Penny, and 9, Major Master. But listen up, guys. I'm heeding Dee's advice. I'm going to throw Pardanom in there as well. I would hate to be knocked out of the first leg by Pardanom now that Dees has given it a vote of confidence. Numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, and 9 in the second leg. Bear with the boys midway. 4 is Cosmic Rhythm. 8, we have a situation, and 9, Golden Angel. Third leg, we chatted about at length. Initially, as I said, we had to submit these perms earlier. I've gone with numbers 1, Dream Searcher, 7, Saint Bridget, 8, Nile the Boss to perhaps upset the apple cart, 9, Black Path, and 10, Black Beach Queen. But as we discussed, the more I've looked at this race, the more I think you might just get away with numbers 1 and 10. Banker number 5, Let It Be Said in the last leg. If you want to add number 1, Gallic Dream, I wouldn't put you off that. But I'm reasonably confident. I wouldn't be rushing to take 6 to 10. I don't think there's any value in these current odds of 6 to 10. But we have to find a banker somewhere, D's. And number 5, Let It Be Said, fits that bill.
Thanks to Graham Hawkins, and I must agree, race number 7, which I also thought could be a race where you're going to have to play as wide as possible, maybe even the field. Graham has convinced us that number 1, Dream Searcher, and number 10, Beach Queen, could be the right horses there, and that will be race number 7 for the exotics. And that banker does come up in race number 8, as Graham mentioned. Let It Be Said, horse number 5. Graham, as always, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Dees. We didn't have a bad day on Sunday. Let's hope we have a good day on Tuesday.
Okay, let's hope the form continues for the first local race meeting for a new week. It's Tuesday at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. To you, the valued racing fan, for Graham Hawkins, Gallop TV, and myself, Dees Dine, and have a blast. Find all the winners, and hopefully it turns out to be a wonderful start to a new week for our local racing. Until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gashle.